Introducing the Liberty Laptop, your gateway to online anonymity. Engineered with your privacy in mind, the Liberty Laptop comes equipped with cutting-edge security features, ensuring that your data remains yours and yours alone. No more worries about your personal information being shared without consent. Say goodbye to prying eyes and third-party snoops. Enjoy your online freedom with advanced privacy settings, protecting your every digital move, all at your fingertips. With the Liberty Laptop, you control what others see and don't see. We customize your privacy settings and let only what matters most to you be shared. No more concerns about unwarranted surveillance. We put the power back in your hands. No unwanted access through the laptop's camera and microphone. Powered by the latest technology, the Liberty Laptop ensures performance while respecting your personal boundaries. The Liberty Laptop. Your control. Your privacy. Your world. Visit calixsolutions.io to experience true personal freedom today.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? My friends, Dr. Vaginal has finally realized that I don't make shit up. Dr. Vagisil, the Dr. Vagisil, said Ben said Trump would be on Rogan months ago. And Elon will join. So his prediction will be 100% correct instead of 70. Brother, I don't make shit up. How many times do I have to be right before people are like, wait, maybe this guy's actually talking to people? Yeah. Never mind. Oh, you don't even want to know what's freaking coming. Let's just hear. You want something that's going to blow your fucking mind? I'll bet you $1 there's a hurricane that hits Florida 1 or 2 days before the election. You want to bet? Any takers? All right. Now, folks, today's gonna be here. Let me expand on that. Remember how odd that last hurricane was, where it originated? Remember how it oddly originated in the Gulf Coast, like oddly off of South America? Like that never happens? Yeah, that was a practice run, folks. I'm just saying. At least that's what I'm hearing. This is folks, they're screwed. They're like officially screwed. Did you hear? Listen to this. Did you hear how America accidentally released Israel's plan on attacking Iran? What Did they fat finger it and accidentally send it out to the public? Folks, that they're in deep doo-doo, and they know it. They know their seat. Remember, the CIA's strongholds are Iran, North Korea. Now, notice North Korea just blew up a bridge or a road. Do you know what road that was? Do you know where that road leads? It leads to the replacement of the mountain. Now, if you don't know what the mountain was the CIA headquarters in North Korea. Yes, the mountain that all of a sudden just collapsed. You know, because fucking mountains do that. They just all of a sudden collapse. My friends, the elite are in full panic. They're, and I swear to God, this is true. They're literally seeing, climate change. The mountain collapsed because of climate change, don't you know? They're seriously trying to figure out how they get Joe Biden back on the ticket, because now he's more popular than friggin' camel toe. Folks, wall meets spaghetti. They're throwing everything at it because they don't know what to do. Elon Musk is giving away $1 million per rally. Folks, everyone's all in. All in. This is for all the marbles. Folks, this is for the future of the world. Because he who controls the AI controls the world. This is nothing we've ever experienced before. You got to make sure that you get out and vote, guys and gals. Because every vote is going to count. And if you can, no kidding, folks, I'm not joking when I say this, hang out at the polling place and record everything. Literally take the whole day, grab some donuts, grab a lawn chair, go there and vote, and then sit outside of the voting place where you're legally allowed to and hold up whatever sign for whoever you like, record everything. If you see a line of what seems to be illegal, voters report it. Right? Israel is also a stronghold. CIA and Mossad are one and the same. Yes. Right? Israel is just like America. There are good guys and there are bad guys. Netanyahu is a put your finger into the wind type of guy, and he knows what's coming. He knows what Trump's bringing with him. So folks, Netanyahu is literally destroying CIA, all of the CIA, Hezbollah. He's destroying all of those over there. And that's why America released his plan for Iran. But what America doesn't know, that was not the plan. That was the trap. Good job, dipshits. Do you think Netanyahu would have given you access to the accurate information of the plan? See, we are not, yes, bingo, game on. The Khazarian Mafia versus mankind. You nailed it. You nailed it. Folks, we have one hell of a show today. Here in a few minutes, we're bringing on Deb from up in New York. He's going to give us our New York report. Then at 11, we have a very special guest named Dennis Porter. Right? And if you don't know who Dennis Porter is, then you're not on Vimeo this morning. Let me check that real quick here. Vimeo. Let me see here. Destinations, Vimeo. Live events. Here. Oh, yeah, I am. Yeah. Yeah, I thought I was. Yeah. No, we're on there. We're on the private server over on Vimeo. Yeah. Yep. So I don't know what you looking at, Mr. Tire Doctor. Okay, word from the sponsor, and I'll be right back.
Ever wondered how safe your online activities really are? How secure is your digital footprint? In the vast realm of the internet, privacy and security are paramount. Without adequate protection, your personal data might be at risk. There are solutions to these issues, and today we're going to talk about two of them. Introducing Liberty laptops from CALIX Solutions. These cutting-edge devices are meticulously designed to bolster online privacy, providing you the liberty to surf the internet incognito. The World Wide Web can be a wild frontier, but with Liberty laptops, your online privacy is always protected. We also present you crypto laptops, designed with cryptocurrency users in mind. Equipped to support a myriad of wallets and exchanges, these laptops are tailored for seamless cryptocurrency transactions. They offer enhanced security protocols to keep your digital assets safe. Crypto laptops ensures a secure and smooth cryptocurrency experience. It's time to take control of your online privacy and security. Venture over to CALIX Solutions and explore our Liberty laptops and crypto laptops. Don't forget, our affiliate program lets you earn $50 per sale. Visit calixsolutions.io now or call 702-845-8276 for more information, because your online safety is our priority.
All right, welcome back. Yep, right now, I'm telling you guys, get your Liberty laptop and check out, type in 100 $100 off offer. That will get you $100 off the Liberty laptop. Because folks, the last thing they're gonna do is trigger the hardware. And if you don't have a Liberty laptop that actually teaches you how to search and use the free web or the dark web or whatever, you're not going to have any information. I've been trying to tell you guys for, I think we launched Liberty laptops about a year and a half ago. And I've been telling you guys, you need to learn to live outside of the system. The system is the 3% of the web that Google lets you see, that the browsers let you see. I digress. Now, it looks like I just got a text from Miss Deb. She'll be here soon. Good. I'm totally interested in what's going on up in New York. He goes, see, word is they arrested Diddy so that after the election, they could basically scrub all of the video, and then they go, well, we lost it all. His arrest was preemptive. I wonder if there will be some event in New York. Let's see. Hey, Ben, what would be the strategy to offload cryptos to take profits? What exchange would you use? I would use Caleb and Brown. And this is my personal opinion. This idea of taking profits, like in US dollars, that doesn't seem very smart to me. Why would you sell your Bitcoin to get dollars? That's like selling pizza to get shit. I mean, like literally, like feces. Because the US dollar is not profits. To pay off a house, maybe, I guess, if you want to do that. But it's I never understood the idea of selling Bitcoin. But hey, you do you. You whatever works for you, I'm all for. I don't know your situation. So whatever works for you is run with it, man. Run with it. If you want to pay off your house, you want to pay off your car, whatever. You know, you do you, I'll do me. That's how this heat works. Now, as for what we got going on in science, folks, there has been a revelation that has shocked the scientific community. And at 3 o'clock today, I'm going to play Cliff High's latest video on the Sheet Show. Folks, if you ain't watched that yet, get ready for some reality. Scientists are starting to wake up. Yes. Cliff's latest is a must. Yes. He breaks it down, folks. Scientists, especially in physics, they're starting to realize, right? They're starting to realize that physics is flawed. No shit. Einstein even knew that. Right? Here's some breaking news, folks. Einstein wasn't that smart. I hate to say it. I mean, he was decent, but he wasn't. A lot of his knowledge was stolen knowledge from the patent office. Why do you think he worked at a patent office? Because he was, now, that's a whole nother topic. But new F-18's radar now seeing things that we couldn't see, i.e. UFOs. Yeah, see, that's what happened. You guys want to know what happened with this whole UFO thing? Remember the balloon? All right, here, let me do it right. The plural, the balloons that all of a sudden showed up floating over America. And the Biden administration was like, oh yeah, those are, look, Chinese balloons. Folks, America implemented a new radar system, and it runs at a higher frequency range than the old radar. And I'm not exaggerating, folks. You think I'm full of heat? Look up. Last month, for 2 weeks, they had to shut down the airspace above Langley. You know why? Too much traffic from unidentified objects. They just hovered over Langley. Or one of the airports, right, that protects Washington, D.C. They just hovered there. They shut down the airport. And these were just these tic-tac flying things. I'm telling you, folks, things are getting so crazy right now. No. These are not interdimensional crafts. What these are higher light frequency creatures. Hey, here comes Deb, live from New York. It's Monday with Deb.
Good morning, Ben.
Morning, beautiful. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Which reminds me, I'm losing weight. I'm wearing my patches. I'm telling these patches are like off the hook.
Mm-hmm.
And the patches, along with my weekly shot I take, I'm losing weight like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me.
I know. You look at you. I know you look great.
Yeah, I'm half the man I used to be.
Well, you know, the patches, they're an age reversal thing. So your stem cells are regressing. They're getting younger and younger. So your metabolic rate's speeding up. So your body's working better. So it's very exciting.
And just a shout out, give I got questions on like what's going on in friggin' New York. I'm hearing some crazy shit. Verify with you because that's where you be. Give everyone where they can find our patches and how they can get information, folks. These patches, these shots, if you don't want to lose weight, don't use the shots. But if you want to feel completely different, like better, like you're in line frequency-wise, get these friggin' patches. I've been using them for how long now? Like 5 months or 6
months. Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. And every night I put one right back here. I wake up. Sometimes I leave it on because I forget about it. But I usually take it off in the shower. Folks, I used to have horrible neck pain. mean, ooh, used to drive me nuts sometimes. All gone. All gone. And my wife used to have hella migraines, like a lot, because she's in front of a computer all day, frequencies. Her number of migraines are a tenth of what they were and still dropping.
Yeah, what's so great about these patches too, they're not masking the pain. They're fixing your problem. So whatever's going on inside your body, it's giving your body what it needs to rebuild those stem cells. And your body's smart enough to know what the most serious problems are. So you might want to do X on your body, but meanwhile, you got something else going on inside your body. And that's going to get fixed first if that's more important for your health, to sustain your health. And it's correcting the problem. It's not, it's not one of these patches you put on that, oh, the pain's gone, and then you take off the patch and the pain's back. It's just amazing. But people have to be patient. They have to understand. It took us a long time to get poisoned, to get injured, to get our bodies effed up with all the toxins that are out there. It's going to take time to get back. And for the $100 you spend a month, and that's what it is to maintain the patches, what can you do for $100 a month that's getting your health back? Nothing. And eventually you should be able to start, not that I'm not saying get off supplements and get off medicine, but slowly you should be able to stop having to pay for other things that mask your problem and limp you along.
Yes. You actually didn't wind up where you're at overnight. And if you want to heal yourself right, it ain't going to happen overnight.
Right.
You have to change your frequency, change over a period of time, because if you do, it's just like alcoholism. You have been poisoning your body for years. You do not want to go cold turkey. You want to gradually heal from alcoholism. And that's what we have been frequencyismed.
Mm-hmm. I know. And, I'm so excited when we partner this with RFK coming out and starting to pick apart and show the truth about the food, the water. When we put that all together, holy crap. I think people's bodies are going to be amazing.
Yes. Steve, what's the
so guys, you're going to email me at deb.pusatier@gmail.com. You can also, and I'll email this back to you, go to the website startx39.com. There you can learn all about it, but I have to enroll you. So if you choose to use them, and guys, if you're not going to commit to 6 months, don't waste your time. You've ever had a weight problem like me? You can't just go on a crash diet for 30 days and think, oh, great, it's going to work. It is going to work, but you're not going to see the results. They're cumulative. So you need patience and you need commitment to these. And the other thing too, you got to eat right. You got to drink your water. Don't think that you're just going to live and they're going to fix you.
Yes, this is what you guys know about me. I'm not going to bring something that doesn't work, but there is no such thing as a quick fix. There is no such thing as get rich quick. There is, if you get rich quick, you're going to be broke quick.
Yep.
Right? And if somebody's promising you here you go, take a pill and you'll feel better, that pill comes with side effects because it's shocking your system. You don't want to shock your system. You want to gradually repair your body, because that's the foundation. All right. Email Deb. There's right under her name is her email. Or I have a link under here to the Telegram channel for the patches. And you can wear one every night like I do, or you can, I don't know if there's a limit on how many you should use at once. Just one?
One of these patches, right. So when you get the starter pack, you get the reverse aging, the X39, and then you get the anti-inflammatory patch. You can wear those two together.
Yes. Okay.
That's amazing.
That's the other one that my wife wears for her knee and her hip.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not like overdosing.
You're overdosing on frequencies, Ben.
Yeah, damn it. Great job, Ben. I put on 12 of them and I wound up going into a frequency coma.
I wonder what that would look like. Maybe you'll change into something else because you'll be vibrating it. I don't know.
That'd be like taking ayahuasca or something. Okay. All of a sudden, you're like seeing midgets and shit. There's nothing wrong with seeing midgets. Hey, I'll take a drug if I get to hang out with a few midgets all day. I'm just saying, midgets are good people. And they're very handy in the kitchen because they can reach that lower level without you having to bend over. I'm just saying. Okay, now, Deb, give me the New York report. What in the holy hell is going on up in New York?
Did you love Trump and the dinner he went to in New York? Did you
oh my God, that was hilarious.
Oh my gosh, the joke that he said to Mayor Adams that they had to clear out of the conference center because the illegals were coming in. I freaking love it. Yeah, I'm hearing rumors. I don't know. You know, the National Guard has already moved in to the city.
Yep.
It's just become a mess. It's overrun with illegal immigrants. The hotels are being taken over by illegals. The citizens are getting angry, really, really angry. The minority citizens especially, because now they're realizing, like the people that are always voting Democratic, they're realizing that the leadership in New York is full of crap. But I heard, I don't know, I hear that they're going to be doing some terrible things in New York. Like I hear the Statue of Liberty is a target. And I think that before this election, if it goes off, I think they're going to do whatever they can to stop it. And I'll tell you, I wouldn't be anywhere near New York City because I think we're going to be targeted for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Have you heard that too?
Yes.
But you know, the Statue of Liberty is not what we think it is.
Oh yeah. No. It's
it was a gift from France, I believe. And it's a prostitute, whore, whatever you call it, a goddess of sex.
Yeah. If you read the plaque on the lower part of it, there's some witchcraft in that sumbitch.
Really? No, I didn't. What does it say?
I can't remember the exact quote, but it's not what people think it is. It's a symbol of an ancient god of basically sex. Mm-hmm. And that the reason it's looking in the direction it is well, just Google it. That's a rabbit hole you're going to go down for quite a while.
Speaking of rabbit holes, the P. Diddy thing, you know that they're tied to Eric Adams. Remember how we talked about a month ago about how Adams was in trouble for taking donations from other countries and fundraisers and blah, blah. Anyway, he and the judge that killed himself, they're all connected to the P. Diddy fiasco. Matter of fact, did you hear on the news that Macy's is being sued? And this breaks my heart because I love Macy's. Macy's in New York. Anyway, they covered up. They're being sued because they covered up an employee who was raped by P. Diddy and his security guys in Macy's in a stockroom because P. Diddy had some clothing line and some big deal with Macy's. So Macy's didn't want to lose the deal. So yeah, they're all in trouble. And you know Kamala's on those hoof parties or woof parties.
That's where she got her start, folks. She was a call girl years ago. And this is shit you can verify.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't like crap I'm talking. It's legit skis.
So what do you think? We're going to have an election?
I think we'll have I think they're going to throw a wrench into everything they can possibly throw a wrench into. Because they don't have another option.
You don't think they're going to replace her?
From what I've heard, they're trying to replace her with Joe again. Like they're playing musical White House. He who sits last, gets it. And I mean, Joe's pissed. Joe's wife is really, really pissed. She's like next level exposed shit pissed. Everything like going on with Israel and the CIA.
How about the leak? The leak.
Yes.
And they tried to assassinate Netanyahu over the weekend because our government leaked Israel's plans and it was all over the internet. But in Palestine, you can't make this stuff up. It's just, oh my gosh.
It's what's amazing now is because Elon owns X, they can't shut this down. The truth gets out to the people.
Yep.
That's why last week I was trying to log on to X, and certain browsers would actually do what is called a login flicker. It's where it. Well, luckily, I have super secret software that I can launch and actually go around that. They're doing everything they can to block X. And that's why I keep telling people you have to get your Liberty laptop because, folks, you have to understand, these are the same people who drug us into World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq. I mean, they don't care about frigging killing us. They cannot lose control. Word on the street, and this has them nervous. The CEO of BlackRock is about to publicly endorse Trump.
Now, why is that, Ben?
He may be, you may hate BlackRock, but BlackRock is not going to land on the losing side of this.
But aren't they dirty? They're going to go to prison.
Not all of them. And trust me, the CEO of BlackRock, he's crooked, but he's not Epstein crooked. Right? There are people associated with BlackRock that are Epstein crooked, but he's not. Right? He's looking out to save his ass and save the company's ass. And he knows these guys have all actually done eternal accurate polls. Larry Fink, just like J.P. Morgan. Oh God, what's the CEO there? Help me out.
For who?
The CEO of, yeah, Jamie Dimon publicly endorsed Trump.
Yep.
You don't think that Jamie Dimon hired a place and said, give me accurate numbers? Who's winning this race?
Well,
Because
go ahead. If Biden doesn't replace Kamala, he might endorse Trump.
who, Biden? I think they would, if he tried that, they would, all of a sudden, Joe would be on the other side of the grass. Let's just put it that way.
Hey, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Every time I hear this, I'm like, so Elon Musk is going to be working for Trump. And his initials are DOGE, the Dogecoin. Do you think there's anything with that?
There's plans for the Dogecoin with X.
Okay.
That's X is eventually going to actually be put on a blockchain so that it cannot be taken down.
And they're going to use Doge for that.
And I think they're going to use Doge 2 as the blockchain for X.
And that's ironically the same title he's going to be having in Trump's cabinet. I mean,
yeah.
I know there are no coincidences.
Yep. And yes, Doge is a fork of Litecoin. Yep.
Ah, I did not know that.
Yep. It uses a simple script.
Hey, we haven't talked about the price of silver today. 34.35 when I last checked. Holy crap.
Dude, I was watching Bloomberg, and Bloomberg is starting to sound like Big Swear. They're like, well, the historical average should put, really, silver should be about 120 right now. And,
yep.
and listen, I'm like, this is a friggin' Bloomberg.
Yeah, this is so exciting. I mean, silver has not been over, this is since 2020. It hasn't been over $20 in 4 years. So this is amazing. Amazing. We're at 34.35. It might even be higher. I haven't checked it in an hour, but this is so exciting.
Yeah, it's the problem they're having is their whole system is falling apart. They cannot keep all of the plates in the air.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have enough hands. And they're losing hands every day. Jamie Dimon, when he endorsed Trump, you have to understand what that means, folks. Jamie Dimon endorsing Trump, that means Jamie Dimon is now lining up financial institutions for a Trump shift. And I guarantee Jamie Dimon's working with BlackRock to recapitalize all of Jamie Dimon's and JP Morgan's subsidiaries, the banks, the shipping companies, all that, with ETF friggin' Bitcoin. This is all linked together, folks. And as we go forward, and they just announced today that as of November 1st, it's legal to mine Bitcoin in China. You know how big of a deal that is, folks? China is building 40 new nuclear plants. That should be
machines going to run off of those plants?
Yeah. This, folks, we're and China's buying gold like it's going out of style. Russia just launched a silver initiative, I think.
Yep.
So they're going to start buying the hell out of silver too for the BRICS basket.
You're meeting tomorrow, right? Correct? BRICS is meeting tomorrow?
Yeah.
Second, I think.
Yeah. And Russia is now the second largest miner of Bitcoin in the world until about January or February, where Jack Dorsey kicks on the mining facility he has going on over in Africa. That's going to dim the sun when they turn that thing on.
Now, what's that going to run off of, Ben?
That's all. It's hydro. It's actually like natural gas. It's multiple different energy sources, and they've actually partnered with like Saudi Arabia, Qatar. Like, remember the UIA or
UAE?
Yeah, UAE just made friggin' Bitcoin zero tax. So there is no tax when you sell your Bitcoin. Why would they do that? Folks, these people ain't. What happened with your Coinbase prediction? It's still accurate. People just don't know what's going on at Coinbase right now.
What do you think the time frame for that is for Coinbase?
It actually depends on if they're gonna try and save Coinbase or use it as another price suppression collapse event. But I don't think they can afford to let Coinbase fail. I think they're just going to have to keep it out of the news until they can recapitalize it with actual Bitcoin. Because right now they're still underwater.
Yeah.
They have more on their books than they do in their wallet.
And they don't have the capital to buy the Bitcoin to cover that?
Well, they do because it's basically CIA. But the places they have to purchase it from, if they went in and just purchased the amount they need, they'd raise the price on themselves. And then someone would go, why is Coinbase buying all these? Why is Coinbase buying 200,000 friggin' Bitcoin at once? Because they's underwater.
Well, they're going to have to do it at some point to even themselves out, right?
Yeah, they're just going to try and lay low, I think. Yes, they're going to lay low and slowly accumulate what they're short. And because word is that BlackRock is already shifting over to EY Mellon who hold their coins. And so it's
we'll see. I think we have some banking issues on the horizon real soon too. I think you're going to see a big bank.
Well, we had 9 of them fail last week that no one ever talked about. I think it was 9.
We've had more fail than happened in the crash of 2008. And
yes.
There's no conversation, but what's going to happen? You know, that what do they call it? Changa? What's that game where they keep pulling them from the bottom? And then all the blocks.
Oh, yeah, Django.
It's going to happen. I hope to God that all of your listeners have gotten out of the stock market and gotten their extra cash out of the bank, because they're not going to recover any of that. Sorry, they're just not.
Jenga. Yeah. Jenga. Yeah, that's what it's called. Jenga. Okay. Yep. Yeah, it's none of these banks are healthy. None of them are. We live in a fractionalized reserved bank. You know, they only hold 9 or 10% of what their balance sheet shows.
And that's
so they don't have the cash.
That's if they corrected the deficit, because when COVID hit, they went down to 0%. And then then they were told that they had to get the 10% back, and some of them haven't yet. Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
really? I don't know about that.
Saylor says no U.S. banks will fail. In a way, he's right, because when I say fail, I mean they're going to be insolvent. Well, all of them are insolvent right now. Hey, there's Dennis. Hang on one second. I will be right with you. Let me wrap up my New York report real quick. All right, Deb, where can people get a hold of you? And I would actually come up and see you up in New York, but they won't let me in. I'm a citizen.
Love you. Yeah, they can email me at deb.pusatir@gmail.com, and I will get back to you. Sorry for everybody that I delayed on last week. I was in Cabo with Sammy Hagar, so.
The struggle's real, Deb. The struggle's real.
It is.
Love you, man.
Love you more. Have a great day, my friend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now, if you're on Twitter and you want to know what's really going on with Washington, D.C. and the whole Bitcoin adoption, the war against Bitcoin, there's only one person on Twitter that you need to follow. And that's a guy named Dennis Porter. Let's bring him up. Morning,
What's going on?
Dennis. How are you, brother?
Good morning, Ben. Glad to be here. Excited to chat with you today.
Oh, man. I don't know how long you got, but I could literally talk to you for 4 hours and probably still want more. You have your fingers of both hands on the pulse of what you fly more than me. You're the only person I know who travels more than I do. Give us a breakdown. God, I have so many questions. Give us a breakdown of what you're seeing, where you're seeing it, and what's the most encouraging information, or what's important to you right now. What's important to you?
First of all, Ben, thank you so much for having me on, and excited to be on here after we were able to meet in Florida. I think it was close to a year ago almost now, in Naples. So I was glad to be able to come down and hang out with you there with the Bitcoin Day guys. Very good times. The things that excite me the most, well, first of all, I have to say I'm ready to get this election behind me. You know, it's like we're very, very close now, 2 weeks out. And, you at this point, you're just like, all right, let's just see the results. Like, everybody's locked in, there's nothing that's going to change unless we get another big October surprise, which has happened before. In 2016, I was just talking about this on a Twitter Spaces. 2016, Hillary Clinton, they made the public announcement that they were going to investigate her, the FBI, on October 28th. What's today? Today is October 21st. So, and literally the most insane things can happen anytime between now and election day. But I'm ready to get it over. I want to see the results. I'm excited to see where the chips fall. For me, myself, at Satoshi Action, and for those of you that in your audience that might not know, Satoshi Action is a nonprofit that advocates for Bitcoin and particularly Bitcoin mining. We pass things like right to mine. We've done it in multiple states. We also protect the right to self-custody, the right to run a node, the right to peer-to-peer transactions. We've introduced legislation like that in over 20 states, and we have passed it into law in 4 states. And we're just getting started. We only launched 2 years ago, June of 2020, and we are continuing to make progress for Bitcoin rights here in the United States. But at Satoshi Action, as I said, we are operating at the state level. We care a lot about what the individual states do. And so, yeah, would a friendly administration be great at the federal level? That's right. It would be. But at the same time, it's not going to stop us or hinder us or impact us in a lot of different ways, because we're going to continue to operate at the state level, where we believe the greatest possibility is for innovative policy solutions. So, right now, that's right to mine, that's right to self-custody, that's right to peer-to-peer transactions. But once we start to see those things pass into law across the country, we can see even more innovative policy solutions, like the ability for states to hold Bitcoin. We want to see states have their own strategic Bitcoin reserve. We want to make sure states have another tool in their toolbox to be able to protect themselves from runaway inflation, to stabilize their economy, and to protect the folks that are residents of their state. We also want to see even more enhanced grid balancing programs. Most of the grid balancing programs today that Bitcoin miners participate in, those existed before Bitcoin miners started to plug into the grid, right? We have been developing these demand response programs, these ancillary service programs for years now, for decades. But they don't always take into consideration the truly incredible, flexible nature of Bitcoin mining and the way that it can participate in the grid. There is simply no better technology for balancing the grid than Bitcoin mining. And it is why in 2017, I was very attracted to the technology. Take a step back, so people know my journey here, and then I'll pass it back to you, Ben. But you got me on a good morning. I was warmed up on Twitter Spaces, and I'm ready to go. So, for people know a little bit about me.
You roll. I'm actually, you just roll, because I want you to break down why the mining literally is going to save America. And I know that sounds like dramatic, but it literally can. It can actually make every energy plant we have run efficiently and profitably 100%.
That's right. That's 100% true. 100% true that our grid can receive 100% uptime, so to speak, or utilization factor. So people have some context. 2017, I find Bitcoin. Someone told me it's perfectly anonymous internet money. I said that's not possible. Went to go research it to prove my friend wrong. Ultimately, I proved my friend wrong. But while I was in there tinkering around trying to figure out, what can this technology do, I quickly fell in love. Really started to appreciate the ability for Bitcoin to bank the unbanked and to provide financial services for people across the world, here in America, but also all across this planet. There are 2 billion people all across the world who don't have access to financial services, or who are underbanked, or don't have traditional banking services. So when I found Bitcoin, I was very attracted to it, saw that it could solve a lot of problems. But one of the things that I was drawn to right away was Bitcoin mining. And I was just looking at some old photos the other day. The moment I found Bitcoin mining, I was like, we get one machine, then you get 3 machines, then you get 5, but then you're in your basement. And you're like, well, all this heat and all of this noise, we got to do something with it. So I started to build my own pod, essentially like a indoor black box. Like, it wasn't as nice as the one that Steve Barber builds, right, where he can set it outside in the elements. When he came out with that, I was just super impressed with it, because I was like, man, this is just like 1,000 times better than what I had constructed, rudimentary construction in my basement. But I had a rudimentary construction in my basement of a pod, and somewhat like a black box, pointed it out my door so that the heat could get out. But I just kind of kept adding machines and kept having to innovate on the pod, kept having to figure out new ways to get rid of the heat, find new ways to get rid of the noise. And then all of a sudden I'm negotiating my power with my power company. I'm at 20 ASICs at this point. And I started to realize, especially as I dove into the software and the firmware on these rigs, on these pieces of mining hardware. In fact, I think I have a couple of them sitting over here, a couple old S9s sitting next to me right now. I really started to appreciate that I was, in my own way, like innovating. I was innovating for how to get rid of the noise, how to get rid of the sound, and also the heat. And I just thought it was interesting, because at the time I was in this period of time where I was kind of semi-retired for some health reasons. And so I was like so driven to innovate. I was like, man, if it's making me, I'm kind of in my lazy mode right now, in my retirement mode, just trying to take care of my body. But I'm like, breaking free of my chain, so to speak, getting ready to just like to build with this thing, to innovate with this technology. And I had reflected. I said, if that's happening to me, it's probably happening to people all across the planet. And I was, of course, right at the time, even though I had never met a Bitcoiner. I was just me. Someone told me the guy that told me about it didn't even like Bitcoin. So I had no one to talk to about it, was just trying to innovate on my own. Well, fast forward 7 years later, and of course, I've learned a lot more about Bitcoin mining. It's not just, the ability to innovate around heat and the ability to innovate around how do we move noise around and power rates. We're also talking about some of the most important grid balancing technology in maybe human history, up to date, right? Because there just isn't any type of load that can participate in the grid the way that Bitcoin mining can. It's just not possible. You don't have large users of power who are just like, boom, willing to shut off their power at flip of a switch and do it for lengths of time, because you can have some folks that use, load, that use electricity. I would say like steel plants, for instance, but they can only stay off for so long. Otherwise, they're going to start to interrupt the supply chain. They can damage their equipment if they do it too often. Whereas mining, of course, yeah, there is some mild amount of wear and tear on the software, the hardware when it winds up and down, but it's nothing like, winding up and down a furnace for a steel plant. So mining is this truly incredibly flexible load with no supply chain to keep up with. And so it can be turned off for large amounts of time. Even in huge amounts of the Bitcoin mining data centers can be turned off as well, simultaneously, without impacting the Bitcoin network. Yeah, of course, you have a mild slowdown in block times, but you're not going to have massive network interruptions. Like take this, for example, in Texas during Winter Storm Elliott, we saw 30% of the hash rate drop offline, roughly 30% of the hash rate drop offline during that winter storm, to be able to balance the grid so that people could keep their homes warm during that winter storm. And we were able to deliver roughly 1.7 million homes the energy they needed to keep their homes warm, or roughly about 320 large hospitals the power they needed to be able to stay on during that winter storm. And that's just an incredible amount of power. And there just simply is not any other load that can do that. And when it did, when they all wound down, 30% of the network wound down during that moment, Bitcoin kept going on. Well, imagine if you were to wind down 30% of the Amazon data centers. Imagine if you were to wind down 30% of anybody's data centers. You would see network interruptions, internet interruptions all across this planet. It's just something that no one else can really do at scale like Bitcoin mining can. And it's why myself and the team at Satoshi Action care so much about being able to protect Bitcoin mining, because it is truly one of the most innovative forms of grid balancing technologies that we have today. And we're only just beginning to learn what its capabilities are.
I'm 100% with you on this, because I've researched it. I live in Florida. I have a club in Florida. I have a club up in Nashville. I have a club up in Massachusetts. And these are education brick and mortar Bitcoin clubs that we educate the general public, and they're also like social houses. If you think of like entrepreneurial crypto, Bitcoin education facilities, that's what these clubs are. And I'm literally launching an all-inclusive resort in El Salvador that is going to be Bitcoin Ben place. And people have asked me, why are you putting so much capital into this environment? Not that many people even know about Bitcoin yet. And what I tell them is these clubs, and these branded with the name of actual Bitcoin, these are like the early days Radio Shacks, where the only place you could get a computer was at Radio Shack. And education and all the nerds hang out, the Bitcoin Ben crypto clubs, and they actually talk about Bitcoin and blockchain and mining and all this stuff. Well, folks, the reason I'm investing so much money in these clubs is because the Bitcoin is not gonna be an area of the economy. It's gonna be the foundation of the global economy. I've said it for years that literally Bitcoin is going to replace petroleum as the commodity of the future, because we now produce more GDP products digitally than we do physically. So once we shift from a global economy based on petroleum into a global economy based on pure energy, the world will transition onto the strongest network that is purely digital, purely electricity, and that is Bitcoin. And once people realize that you can replace your taxation base in your country, you can replace human labor tax with natural resource replacement, as like in El Salvador. They're mining Bitcoin with a volcano. That value will eventually be higher than taxing the residents of actual El Salvador for the social programs. So you'll be able to have zero taxes on labor and get the currency directly produced from the natural resources of the country. People don't understand how big of a deal that is. Please elaborate.
I think one of the other big things here is that, of course, you're tapping into this idea that you can utilize your natural resources to be able to mine Bitcoin. And then there are countries and of course states within the US which have a very significant amount of energy assets that they could put to use to be able to mine Bitcoin. We're already seeing other countries put their assets to use to mine Bitcoin. I think additionally, one thing that's really interesting to me is, in this world that we're moving into, this highly digital world, one that is really, of course, also going to be manufactured and created and generated by AI. You're living in a world where things can't be trusted anymore, so you're going to need to have something that can be a signal of truth. And Bitcoin is one of those, is really one of the only technologies that we have today where you can go and you can verify for yourself the truth. It is very difficult today to verify the truth around anything. They're already coming out with reports. Me and you, we know about AI, we know it exists, and we're seeing these AI generated images, and we're going, oh wow, that's clearly an AI generated image. There are so many people in the world that have no idea these things are not real. And so they've done full reports now saying that people are getting tricked by what are very obvious AI images, AI generated images. And so we're entering this new paradigm where the truth is something that we can't even trust our own eyes with. Additionally, beyond that, the really interesting thing about AI and the crossover into Bitcoin is there's some positive things as well. One being that I believe that AI is really going to be interested in using Bitcoin. Before Bitcoin existed, think about it this way: if you want to open a bank account so that you can transact digitally in the world here in America, as an individual, you go to your bank, or you can do it online, of course, as well, and you show your proof of identification. You show them your home address so they can send you invoices, so they can send you your monthly statements. And then they allow you to open a bank account as long as your credit is, not too much in the tank as well, right? Like you don't owe anybody a bunch of money and you don't owe a bunch of their banking partners money. There's these things this hoops you have to jump through, but you can do it. You have to ask permission, but you can do it. Think about the AI though for a second. How does AI get a bank account? How does an AI agent get a bank account? Well, we're already seeing this is already happening right now, that AI agents, which that's a new term for some people on your channel, go look it up. But essentially it's essentially a digital, it could be a clone of yourself, a digital clone of yourself. It could be just a sort of an agent that operates on its own, an digital individual. And they can go do tasks for you. Let's think about it in a very non-nefarious way. Like you create a digital clone of yourself, and you want that digital clone every week to go buy your groceries online, so you don't have to do it anymore. That's a great innovation. That's a great way to reduce your time. Well, how is that AI agent going to go buy things for you if it doesn't have its own bank account? So what Bitcoin allows AI to do is actually operate in the real world financially in a way that we've never seen before. And I believe that that's going to be a really big reason why I think going forward that Bitcoin will accumulate more in price than people expect, because they're thinking, okay, there's 6 billion, 7 billion people on this planet, but they're not taking into consideration the number of different AI agents I think that are going to be using this technology in the next 10, 20, 30 years.
Yeah, and I actually know of 3 projects that are AI projects that the AI is actually using the Lightning Network as a I'm going to have to explain how AI works a little bit. AI works off of rewards, right, where you reward the AI for a correct, task or something like that. And the reward and the agent, which is like your personal assistant, or there's going to be a lot. Let's just say this way: the head futurist at Google said there will be about 100 billion agents within the next 20 years. So there'll be more agents operating on the internet than humans in existence. And all of those agents will be completing tasks and receiving rewards. A lot of them will be using the Lightning Network because it's easily adaptable to the software. And I mean, Elon Musk has already hinted that his new robo taxi will have a Lightning address, and you'll be able to pay for it X. You'll be able to pay for your taxi using the Lightning, because remember, X already has Lightning implemented on it. That's how you tip using actual Bitcoin on X already. And for the value of Bitcoin, folks, 69,000 is gonna be the next $100, because that's how high the value of actual Bitcoin is gonna go. Because, and I'm sorry, I'm rambling too. It's just, I love actually talking with people who really live in this world I live in, and what are your thoughts on Trump's proposals to the energy companies? Because he actually gained a lot of the CEO's support from the energy sector. Is he's offered them lower tax rates, of course, but he's also offered them subsidies to actually build mining facilities near their plants. And I heard that directly from someone on Trump's team like 3 months ago. So I don't know what you've heard, but I was legit at Mar-a-Lago. They were like, oh yeah, this is coming.
Yeah, I mean, certainly I'm sure, there's definitely been conversations of ways that, there could be programs set up for the Bitcoin mining industry, the sector. I, in my opinion, personally, I believe that there should be the usage of, if there's government money out there, that's funding grid stabilization and grid advancements, then it should be directed towards Bitcoin mining. I'm not saying I'm going around asking for a giant subsidy on Bitcoin mining exclusively just because I'm pro Bitcoin. But if there's monies that exist out there in the world today that are supposed to be utilized to help advance the grid, to stabilize the grid, to increase grid adequacy, grid reliability, which are all key factors that matter a lot to folks at DOE and FERC and the various other federal regulatory agencies around electricity, that those people in those agencies should be looking at directing funding towards Bitcoin mining, because Bitcoin mining is the most powerful technology that we have today for enhancing generation and for optimizing energy systems, not just baseload power, but actually, in my opinion, more so for variable renewable energy. That's the thing that's really interesting about Bitcoin mining, is that you have this variable renewable energy all over the planet, which generates or could generate excess energy, and they just curtail it. And so what happens is you have just a ton of wasted energy from wind and solar, and that could be used but isn't. And you could have Bitcoin mining going in and helping to monetize that excess generation, but then also simultaneously be willing to wind down and deliver that power back to the grid when it's needed the most. And so if you want to be pro energy, and whether that's pro clean energy or all the above, it really doesn't matter. It just depends on what your energy goals are. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin mining is the most powerful technology that you can use to enhance your energy systems and to build out new energy and to balance that energy and to provide more adequacy and reliability. That's happening a lot in the state of Texas. It's happening a lot in the state of Georgia. It's happening in other states as well. And I'm excited to see the world embrace the technology and start to really put it in a place where it can be fully utilized to its greatest extent.
Yeah, it really actually it's so perfectly created to solve an energy inefficiency problem where we can have our plants running 100% efficiently and profitably, where if they need more energy during the day, you shut down some of the miners. At night, you crank up the miners. So the plant is actually not losing any capital at all. It is. I'll just make it simple. We're switching from a printing press to printing Bitcoin directly. And that's why Trump said, I want all the Bitcoin made in America. All of it. Which is very Trumpish, to say. We don't want no one else mining Bitcoin but us. But because people are getting it, they're starting to understand what a global shift this is. That now we have this technology that solves so many of humanity's problems. And I think that's what a lot of people can't wrap their minds around, is that one solution solves so many problems. Because it not only fixes the electrical grid, it also fixes our problem with inflation. It also fixes our problem with devaluing the dollar. It also fixes our problem with war, because you can't go to war if you're based on honest money.
Well, you can. It just doesn't last nearly as long. That's for sure. I mean, that's the thing, that most major conflicts have been funded by the debasement of the currency, right? Because in order to fund the war, you have to find new ways to pay for it, and the vast majority of major conflicts have been funded by the pure debasement of fiat currencies. And so what that does is it sort of makes readjust the calculation where you say, okay, well, if I have to, and let's assume we're in a hyper Bitcoinized world, we're 100 years in the future, we're all on the Bitcoin standard, and we're all sort of like living in this like perfect world that we all believe is possible. But you're on a pure Bitcoin standard. You can't extract value from people without their permission. And so that makes it much more difficult to debase the currency in order to be able to fund war. But additionally, beyond that, you also, what in some ways, what is the purpose of war, right? Like the purpose of war is to take things of value. Oftentimes it's to go take land. It's to go take resources. And if we are putting up the vast majority of our value into something that can't be just taken from us, if you have your 24 words memorized in your brain, or written down somewhere that no one can find it, then how are you supposed to take that from someone? So if you were to go to war, it's going to be more expensive and harder to fund. And then what are you going to get out of it? What are you going to win out of it? Of course, land is very important. There'll always be land disputes. And I think we should take that into consideration, especially given that, the two major conflicts that are going on right now are really, really based around land disputes, especially what's going on in Gaza and in Israel. But at the end of the day, there's just a totally reshift on how we, as human beings that don't, none of us want to go to war, but these things tend to happen throughout human history. There's just going to be a readjustment on the calculation, I believe, on how and when and why we go and how we pay for these things.
Absolutely. This is a game changer. That's why Bitcoin is so important. That's why you travel as much. Every time I see you, you're like flying doing the someplace else. We're
traveling all over the world right now. We're going to go to Lugano next. I'm going to be in Switzerland to talk during the Plan B conference there. I'm going to talk about regulations and innovation and freedom. And then additionally, I'll be in El Salvador. I'll be speaking at Adopting Bitcoin, going to talk about energy abundance there and how Bitcoin mining can unlock energy abundance. So there's a lot of great stuff coming up. Oh, by the way, also, I will be in Dallas, Texas for the NABS conference, North American Blockchain Summit. Great conference there put on by Lee Bratcher. I won't be speaking there, but I'm going to be there. We're going to be doing a dinner alongside the TBC. That's going to go really well. We've already got some great sponsors, and we've got a great member of Congress there coming to speak. So a lot of great things coming up around the corner, and really excited about some of the travel. But for those of you that don't follow me on Twitter, it's like I at this point, my most common tweet is me taking pictures outside of an airplane, and I tend to be in an airplane now these days, or a Zoom call, or on the road more than I'm home. So it's an exciting time. I'm honored to be able to be out there battling on behalf of the Bitcoin network and scoring wins for Bitcoin and Bitcoiners.
Yep. Hold on one second, guys. A word from our sponsor. We'll be right back.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from CALIX Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from CALIX Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calixsolutions.io.
All right, and we are back. And right now, if you order your laptop at checkout, you type in $100 off. We will give you $100 off your laptop. Right back with, man, I love having you on. I love your Twitter. I love everything. Where can people find you?
Yeah, if people want to look me up, you can go to Twitter. It's at Dennis_Porter_. We also have our Satoshi Action handle as well, which is Satoshi Act Fund on Twitter. And so if people want to DM me, I try to read all the DMs, and I respond to the ones that make sense. But I definitely am reading them all. So thank you for everyone that's always written in and messages of support. I try to respond to those especially. Thank you.
All right, one last question, then I'll let you go because I know that you're busy. What are you most excited about in the next 12 months?
Well, yeah, it's a great question, Ben. And the thing that I'm most excited about really is just this idea that we're going to be entering a new bull market right on the cusp of having all of these major updates in the space, everything from passing these 4 Bitcoin bills into law that protect self-custody, protect the right to mine, to, the ETFs being launched, to BlackRock being here, to be all these major institutions coming in, to all these sovereign wealth funds, all of these family offices, high net worth individuals who are really seeing the value of this technology. We're seeing folks beginning to look into add Bitcoin to the balance sheet. Of course, Saylor led the charge with that. We've got a few others in the space as well. But I think that we're going to start to see other nations and other states add Bitcoin to the balance sheet. And I'm really looking forward to seeing more nation states get involved in the game of Bitcoin. Now is the time. Another 4 years goes by, and I think people are going to start to realize that it was a mistake to wait. So now is the time to act, I believe, for everyone involved in the space to try to acquire as much Bitcoin as they can before we go into this next bull market. Those that do are going to benefit greatly. And also I'm looking forward to this ECB response paper that we're writing. So the ECB just came out with an anti-Bitcoin paper, and we're also writing the rebuttal for that, the official rebuttal. And so that should be out in the next week or so that we have that produced. Looking forward to getting that out for people to be able to push back on all this FUD coming from the ECB.
Wait a second. The European Central Bank, you think that they're anti-Bitcoin? No way.
Yeah, the head of CBDCs there wrote a paper about Bitcoin, and he didn't have two co-authors, but the one main guy didn't have the greatest things to say about Bitcoin. And so we're writing the official response paper to push back on a lot of the things that he had said, a lot of the misinformation and misunderstandings about Bitcoin that resulted in just ridiculous sort of assertions that they made in the paper.
Yeah, they have no argument against it other than we're going to lose power and the bad guys of the world will take over that whole, freedom thing. All right. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate your time. I know you're busy. I'd love to have you on maybe January, February or something, and just actually recap where we're at then. That's basically all I have for you, guys. And please follow him on Twitter. Give us that handle one more time.
Yeah, it's at Dennis_Porter_, or you can just search Dennis Porter on Twitter, just the word, the names. I tend to show up at the very top, blue check mark, so you can identify me easily. And thank you again, Ben, and happy to come back on in January, February, and do a recap so we can talk about all the things that have happened since this call.
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much. Have a great day, brother.
See you.
All right, guys and gals. It's people like him who are out there fighting the fight. And I mean literally fighting the fight. That guy is flying all over the world. He's putting up him and his team are the people who are taking on the central banks directly. Like, they write the rebuttals, they write the legislation for Washington and Florida and Texas and all that, Wyoming, and it's so important that people like him are out there. Guys and gals, we're going to wrap up this morning's episode. And I will be here at 3. We're gonna do a shit show at 3 o'clock for those on the private server. So please, if you'd like to join the private server, there's a link under here for my Substack. And that today's shit show is going to be amazing. It's going to unlock and show you how the modern physics world is being destroyed right now. What you thought was physics is actually quantum. And I don't mean quantum in the way that you think. I mean quantum as in frequencies, flicker rate, frequencies, how the frequencies, how reality really works. If you want to know how reality really works, join me on the private server at 3 o'clock this afternoon for the Sheet Show. Love you guys. There's a link under here. Everyone have a great day. I'll see you at 3.
Introducing the Liberty Laptop, your gateway to online anonymity. Engineered with your privacy in mind, the Liberty Laptop comes equipped with cutting-edge security features, ensuring that your data remains yours and yours alone. No more worries about your personal information being shared without consent. Say goodbye to prying eyes and third-party snoops. Enjoy your online freedom with advanced privacy settings, protecting your every digital move, all at your fingertips. With the Liberty Laptop, you control what others see and don't see. We customize your privacy settings and let only what matters most to you be shared. No more concerns about unwarranted surveillance. We put the power back in your hands. No unwanted access through the laptop's camera and microphone. Powered by the latest technology, the Liberty Laptop ensures performance while respecting your personal boundaries. The Liberty Laptop. Your control. Your privacy. Your world. Visit calixsolutions.io to experience true personal freedom today.